Here's why you should use transverse plane exercises to become more athletic, powerful, and fit, and I'll show you the best ones to use. The transverse plane is one of the 3 major planes of movement, and almost every single exercise you see being done in the gym is either in the sagittal plane, like a squat, or in the frontal plane, like a dumbbell shoulder press. These planes of motion can be kind of confusing, and it can be kind of hard to tell what plane of motion an exercise is in, but by looking at the exercise from a top-down view, where you can see the top of the person's head, you can easily determine this. If the exercise crosses horizontal lines, then it is in the sagittal plane, and if it crosses vertical lines, it is in the frontal plane. And if it crosses both, then it is a transverse plane exercise, which is the subject of this video. Look at a pec fly, for example. It goes forward and to the sides, so this would technically be considered a transverse plane exercise. But for this video specifically, I'm going to be talking about transverse plane exercises that involve spinal rotation. One thing I forgot to mention during the initial recording of this video is sometimes I'll hear people say, you shouldn't train spinal rotation because it's dangerous. As long as you are using good form on the exercises, you should be fine because your spine was actually made to rotate. And you're actually putting yourself at more risk by not training spinal rotation and being weak in those areas. I don't see these being done a lot in the gym, which is unfortunate because, like I said at the start of the video, they are very good at building explosive athleticism, which is a pretty big part of fitness. Like pretty much every single sport, except for a few like archery and powerlifting, involve a lot of spinal rotation. So I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be strong at it, especially since it will reduce your injury risk. Even if you don't do a sport, training rotation can be helpful if you want to achieve complete bodily fitness, but you do not need to include spinal rotation exercises if your only goal is getting jacked, because there's tons of bodybuilders out there who don't have a transverse plane exercise in their program and they're still incredibly jacked. Now, here are my favorite transverse plane exercises that involve spinal rotation. Firstly, we have cable twists or wood choppers, done with either a cable machine or bands. When performing these, try and keep your arms mostly straight and move primarily through your torso. When doing these exercises, try to explode through the concentric portion and control the eccentric for the best muscle growth. And this will work a lot of muscles around the core that aren't usually trained, because if you look at the core, a lot of the muscle fibers don't run directly vertically or horizontally, and they're instead on an angle, which will be trained by this exercise. And it will also work some of the muscles around your spine to aid in stability. Now for 2 even more explosive exercises, we have medicine ball throws and cable punches. The key with these is to engage your hips and use your whole body to try and generate as much force as possible. The last exercise is the kettlebell rotational twist, and I like this exercise a lot because you have to control the weight a lot more. And this also is sort of like a hip hinge combined with a twist, which is a movement that I don't see done like at all. And a key point for the form on this exercise is you want to rotate your feet so that you don't put a lot of the strain on your knees when you're rotating, and sort of bring the kettlebell in an arc or almost like a V shape. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, comment them below, or if you have any questions, comment them below, and I'll see you in the next one.